Hey guys, today I've got my riding mower, my Cub Cadet. It's a LTX 1040 from 2014. I like to take care of it, make it last. So today we're going to sharpen our blades, and I'm going to show you how I do that. Now there's several ways you can do this. I'm going to show you the way I like. I've tried several different ways, and this is the way I like best. So as you can see, this is a free turning blade, so if you try to put a wrench on that, it's just going to spin. So, well, it's easiest to just put a little 2x4 or some kind of block in there, and then, keep it from spinning. And I got my impact wrench here with a 15/16 socket on it. I'm just going to go ahead and pop this off real quick. There we go. Super easy. So like I said, there's a couple different ways you can do this. I have a bench grinder here with a grinding wheel, and you can actually take this and grind the edge, but it's hard to hold on to, for one, and you can see I have to pull this out and the angle's kind of weird, and it's really easy to take too much off. So I'll show you the way I like to do it. And I'm just going to pull my vise forward here. I want to put the edge that I want to sharpen up. And we'll just do one at a time here. Run this in. Get it nice and snug. Now I like to mount my my vise on this because it's portable, and I leave these little open pieces down here so that I can put a clamp on it. Kind of holds it in place. So just have this little clamp here. And make sure that's nice and secure so it doesn't bounce around. Although if I'm really gentle, it doesn't bounce around. But it's probably safer to do this. I don't like things loose and flying around. Alright, so what I like to use is my angle grinder. And this is one of the best tools I've ever bought. I use it for so much stuff. You can put cutting wheels on here, grinding wheels, sanding wheels, all kinds of stuff. This has a flap disc. They call it a flap disc, and basically it's just a whole bunch of sheets of sandpaper stuck together on a wheel, so that when this spins, it's like a real coarse sanding thing. So basically all I'm going to do is go ahead and just grind and sharpen this end piece. Again, I don't need to do this back here, just this end piece. Now, you don't want, I got that clamp down, you don't want to make your edge like a knife. It doesn't need to be sharp on both sides, just the one side. The other side should be flat. But, now let me show you this real quick, because I happen to know this is on here. Sometimes if you hit something, you can see here, I've hit something, and so there's a hunk out of it, and then there's this big burr hanging off. So we're gonna go ahead and knock that off too. And that I will do flat. So if you got pieces hanging this way, just go ahead and cut it flat. You don't need to do the angle. The only side that needs angled is this side right here. All right, so actually one clamp's gonna hold it just fine. So it doesn't take much pressure. You don't need to push on the blade. You just let the grinder do the work. All right, here we go. You don't want it to be, I like to feel, this needs to feel sharp. It's not like a razor blade. If you got this thing too sharp and too thin, then it's gonna dull faster. Or as soon as you hit a rock or a little piece of wood, it's gonna dull it even faster. So just a nice little cutting edge on there is good. If you do check it, be careful. If you've been on here a long time, it'll get hot. So just kind of try to keep the same angle, but you don't need to make it super sharp. Okay. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and knock that other burr piece off. Okay, so that's flat now. Still got its little hunk out of it, but you know, these blades are expensive. You don't want to replace one every single time you have a little nick in it. All right, so then we're just going to go ahead and flip to the other side. Yeah, that feels good. Nothing on this side, no burrs or anything. Now you want to be mindful of making sure you try to take equal amount of metal off of each side. So if you're really hanging on one side, knocking a lot of metal off, you're probably going to want to, you know, hang on the other side a little bit too, because if this gets unbalanced, when it starts spinning, it's going to wobble. So they do make, well, I have one here. I don't really use it much, but mostly because I have the star cut out here and it's hard to get it even. But basically, you can do a balance and see. Now this isn't sitting even because those little ridges are not where they need to be. Oh, there, I got it. You can see it's balanced. So if this is centered and one side dips too much, then you'd want to take some more off that side just to even it up. But this is good, and I'm going to go ahead and put it back on there. You want to make sure it's tight. If you look, I mean, you can just do a socket or an impact wrench like I have to put it back on. They say, it depends on what you read, there's different numbers of how many foot-pounds of pressure you should use to tighten it. I'll show you how to do that too while we're out there. All right, let's go on out. All right, here we are. I like to just put a little WD-40 on these threads just to keep everything from rusting, or any other kind of, you know, light oil that you have will be fine. Okay, so you want to make sure that you have put this in the right way, and so the cutting edge you want at the bottom of the rider. So I'm gonna go just like that, and this one's a star, so I'm just gonna make sure it seats in there. There we go. Put the nut on there. All right, and you can either spin it with a wrench or, whoops, wrong way, impact driver. Like I said, you can use a torque wrench. Just make sure it's tight or this thing will wobble and fly off, and that's not a good thing. So I have a torque wrench here, and I don't know, I have this dialed into like 60 foot-pounds of pressure, so it won't go any tighter than 60, but it will be right on 60. So go ahead. There we go. That's 60. Take our wood block out, and now we have nice sharp blades.